All right, let's try that again. It's Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Thursday night slash Friday morning Zoom edition, depending on where in the world you are. The market's taken a dip. Bitcoin is below 110,000 and it's dragged the altcoins down with it, as it usually does. I've got a short video I want to play from our top cheerleader, Kyle Chassis, from Twitter. And let's see if I can share that. And all right, you guys should be seeing my Twitter feed. This is a short video from Kyle. I'm going to start it here at 40 seconds. Okay, that video is repeating. Um, and no audio. Shoot, that's disappointing. Well, I guess you got to watch Kyle talk and not be able to hear it. So, but you can see his post here. What I wanted to emphasize is some of the technical indicators, like Bollinger Bands are squeezing tight. Usually, when that happens, it blows up one way or the other. It could go against us even further, but Kyle seems to think, based on past history, a 30% move to the upside is likely. Stochastic RSI is another indicator we've talked about off and on this Zoom call. It's similar to the RTI, which I like to trade from. We'll talk about that a little later. But RSI and the stochastic version is something a lot of traders like to use, and that's showing that Bitcoin is oversold and is due for recovery. So indicators are far from perfect, but they can be useful. And that's the information we have from Kyle. Over here on the Bitcoin day chart, we're still above the 200 EMA, but below the 30 and the 50 and the 20. And we've had a significant dip since August when we were at 124, down about 12%. It's quite a bit more on Ethereum. Ethereum, we were up to just under 5,000, now down about 20 plus percent, below 4,000, though we are getting a green candle today on the day chart on Ethereum. But Ethereum's taken a bit of a beating. Bitcoin's mostly just been cruising down toward the bottom of its range, but still staying above the 200. So we'll hope that holds and that Kyle's prediction comes true. Get that 30% bounce up to 150, and that would take the altcoins above, up with it and move this market. So any questions or comments on the overall markets before we go to our free sources to look for some day trades and swing trades? All right. Well, I talked a couple in the last two Zoom calls about finding a sentiment source, and I found that here on coinmarketcap. So that address, coinmarketcap.com/sentiment. And this is what the community members are voting on. So we have bullish sentiment voted on, bearish sentiment voted on. So again, far from scientific, but could be useful in finding coins to track. You could also match this up with, say, crypto bubbles and that sort, and see what looks good to follow. I took this link trade just before the Zoom call started, about 10 minutes ago. So it dipped below the 20 on the RSI on the 15-minute chart, the day trade chart, and dipped below, then broke above. It has hooked since then. So I don't know, it might be in this longer than I want. We'll see how it goes. I did use the sentiment list yesterday, and I'll bring up my carbon trades. I took these two IMX trades yesterday, both completed, about 14% profit. That's that's a 1.4% move on the chart at 10x leverage. So glad both of those worked out. And then Carbon just added this trailing take profit as a feature. It's really easy to use. So when this is available to you guys, I'll be focusing more on it during my Zoom calls. But for now, I just thought I'd show you the trades that I took. BNB the day before with AVAX. So pretty good week. All right, let's go back to sentiment and see what we can follow. I did just go over Blink briefly, XRP, SUI, Doge. Let's look at XRP. Trade this earlier in the week. Right, XRP is sort of hovering just below the 20 on the RTI, so this one could be ready to break. Go ahead and set an alert on this. If you're trading spot, you might want to go with the crossing up on the 20. I'm going to go both directions, entering a channel. So 80 on top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close. CoinMarketCap sentiment. Click create. And I should have my rectangle there. So if it dips below the 20 and breaks back up, I'll get that alert. If it breaks above the 80 and dips back down, I'll get that alert for potential short trade. So that's XRP on a day trade layout. Let's look at this on a swing trade. And looks like the setup is about to happen. It's in the green zone, leveled off, and then it's heading back up on the 1-hour chart, though we do have a red candle at the moment. So if you're more of a swing trader, you might want to set an alert on the SuperTrend here and catch the next buy order. Wait for the Trendio LSMA, this indicator here to trend back up, to turn green for your confirmation, and XRP could be ready to go. That probably happens right about here. Into the red zone, right at about 10%, 7 days potentially if it duplicates this move. So that's a pretty good swing trade. To do that alert, right click here on the SuperTrend. And you can leave direction change if you want to go both directions. For those of you trading spot, select buy and only once. This is notifications. Go with handbell for my sound, click create. And when this goes back up, turns to a buy. And when I get that confirmation, I'd be inclined to take that trade. I'll check Bitcoin too, but yeah, pretty good potential setup here for XRP. Any questions on this one before we move on? Actually, we looked at Link briefly. I want to look at the um, swing trade option on Link as well. Looks a little bit better as far as the candle action, are mostly green, but also coming out of the green zone. And it's pretty similar to what we just looked at with XRP. Set your alert on the SuperTrend and wait for that trend to happen. Let's see what our retrace is. Here is 12%. The red zone is 17% in a shorter period of time. So I like Link better, at least on a chart, than XRP at the moment. So XRP has been more in the news lately with ETFs and things like that. Okay, so that's Link and XRP. Let's look at one more. You can also look at coins that have been beaten down and maybe due for recovery. IMX has been really good lately, and then now it's showing bearish sentiment. People aren't always right, so let's look at IMX. Pretty similar to what we had with the other ones. So I might just turn on the alert I had from yesterday, which is kind of a lazy person's way to do your alerts. See, it's all set up the way we just talked about. Click save, and it'll just turn it back on. See the rectangle there. So I'm good to go on that one. Let's look at the swing trade. Similar to what we were looking at with Link and XRP. Retrace potential 27% in 6 days. So that's a really good one, at least on the structure. So yeah, you might want to set your alert on IMX if you are so inclined. And yeah, looking pretty good. So this dip has created some nice setups for those of us who like dips and retraces, which is neat. Hopefully you guys too. So let's get out of CoinMarketCap, go to crypto bubbles, and again, due to the negative movement of the market overall, we have almost no coins in the green zone on the day. OKBK and Leo. I've never heard of any of those. So let's go with the week. Aster, 231%. What is that? Okay, yeah, it's around mostly foreign exchanges, but it's on a lot of exchanges. So not Bluefin. I don't think you need a VP or a KYC for that one. Well, it looks like the others we've looked at dip below the 20, due for a retrace. If you catch the next move to this resistance, 20%, to the green or red zone, 23%, that'd be a great day trade. And then on the 1 hour, Not enough history to show us much here, other than we're in the green zone now, and retrace to the red zone is 25%. But I don't know if we have enough history for the super trend to print, so might just have to set a price alert around here to see when it breaks back above, say 193, showing some strength. Then that might be the time to get in. Okay, that's Aster. And most of these are down for the week. BNB, I had a good trade on for a couple days ago. I think we looked at that one on Monday. Tron, Bitcoin. Like, not looked at Litecoin in a while. Doesn't usually move enough for me to really like it that much, but it has not been beaten down as much as some of the others. It's above the 50 on the RTI. So if you got in now, try to get a retrace, you're looking at 3% in about a day. It's not a bad day trade. Not great, but but pretty good on the swing trade layout. Breaking above the green zone. I'm assuming that. I'm waiting for my green zone to load. All right, there we go. So if you took that now, we don't have Trendio yet. Hypothetically, yeah, 11% to this resistance, and then red zone, 13% in about 7 days. Not bad. So if you want to swing trade on oldie but goodie, Litecoin could qualify. Set your alert on the super trend, and you'll be good to go. Okay, let's look at different one. You were looking at CoinGecko. So we have a coin. But again, these are a lot of overlap with these. Tron with the buy signal. So I guess I don't know if that's something from CoinGecko or from their sentiment group. So you can buy some of these older projects, Atom, ETC, Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. It's not there. Just broke above the 20 on the RTI. Short-term resistance, 2% profit here, then to the red zone here, about 3%. So both are decent day trades, especially if you're using leverage. So yeah, not bad on Bitcoin Cash on a swing. Green candles on the hour chart, sitting in the green zone. Don't have the super trend order yet. Resistance here, just below 9%, red zone, 15% in 7 days. So this is a pretty good looking swing trade setup. I wait for that super trend to give the signal, confirm with a trendy LSMA. That would be pretty good, especially if Bitcoin comes back. When Bitcoin pumps, some of these outliers that have Bitcoin in the name tend to do well on Bitcoin's coattails. So, all right, CoinGecko. And Tron keeps showing up, so let's look at that one. Usually this is a slow mover, but it's above 50 on the RTI. So if you're a person who likes to trade on the 50 level, if you got in now, it's less than 1% to the red zone. So yeah, this is why I don't like Tron that much. Only got 1.9% between the red and the green zone. So not a huge, like, much movement. At least not as much as I would like. Another option would be to set an alert on the 20, so if it dips back down, it's been rejected a couple times near the 50 zone. Yeah, one, two, and now red candle's printing. So if it breaks back down, you can catch it down here. Then, yeah, better trade 1.6 to 2% on that one. Let's look at the swing. We have a green, well, we have a buy signal, and it looks like the Trendio is turning. Yeah, that's a green line right there. So this one's ready now. If you want to get in and to the red zone, 2.3% in 4 days. That's not good for a swing trade. So let's get the 4-hour chart. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Just not enough of a retrace potential. So, so I'm recommending a pass on Tron, but if you want something a little more conservative, this could be a candidate for that. All right. Well, that's about all I have for the free sources I've been using lately to find trades and track coins throughout the day. Any questions or comments about the markets overall or any coins you want to look at? All right, Isaac joined us. Good to have you. Um, I'll wrap it up here then. If you're watching on the recording, I'd rather see you live. But please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. And I will most likely see you guys on Monday night / Tuesday morning. Have a good weekend. Bye.